Sorry about that. My camera shut off on me. The charge. My phone. So I have the CFL. We got the CFL. The way I see it, I think the CFL they're trying to be the NFL of Canada. That's why they bring all the American guys because they put on a show up here. They're scared. Yeah, if we get rid of the American guys, the Canadian guys. Yeah, if you have the best players in Canada compete, it will not be on it will not be the NFL. But you're still getting good, amazing quality football for the people in Canada. You guys see my point here? Yeah, yeah. Obviously, even a lot of hockey fans who love the NHL will tune into the CFL. Yeah, even though I'm not really a big football fan, I wouldn't hurt to see homegrown Canadian talent. Yeah, a lot of people who are not even that big football fans in Canada will tune into your game, CFL, if you make this change. You can't do that. It's too risky. Yeah, no, that's why it's never going to happen. Never going to happen. Obviously. Yeah. CFL is the only pro league, only pro football league that has that bias towards towards its players playing in its own, the best players playing in its own country. No other pro league has that bias, obviously. See, it's understandable to have a bias towards a different nationality that's not from your country, but for the CFL, it's the opposite. They have a bias towards the best players in their own country. Obviously, it's really weird. Obviously, yeah, the best players playing in the NFL are all the American NCAA players. The American player, the best football players in America are playing in the NFL. The best football players playing in Europe are the Europeans. And for the CFL, the best players playing in the CFL are not the Canadian players; they're the Americans who come out from the states. Those are the best players playing in the CFL. It's very weird. Sarah. Yeah. Well, I was just man, are the Canadians like are the Americans who come up to the CFR are they like much better than the best Canadian players? No, there's not that much of a difference, but they have the edge in athleticism and they're a bit more talented and more athletic than the best Canadian players on average, right? A little bit more athletic, obviously. Yeah, they put on more of a show, right? Obviously, and I think the CFL they're trying to be the NFL of Canada. That's why they bring all the American players to shine because they put on more of a show. But like guys, man, even though they're putting on a show, the fans in Canada are not resonating with these American guys. They don't even know who these guys even are, man. They come out of nowhere and they just put on a show, but like they're clues. They don't even know where the fuck these guys came from, man. Oh, even though they're unknowns, man, they're talented. Ivan, like they put on a show, like we got to keep these guys here. And yeah, but like you've been trying your best to promote these all-star athletes in your league, and you're not seeing any growth in your league. Samsara. Ivan, why do you think the fans are not really resonating with the American players? Obviously. Look, man, I don't know if the fans are not resonating with American players. Maybe they are. Maybe it's just they just don't care about CFL football that much. But if the fans in Canada do not resonate with the American players, these are my reasons. The first reason is because they're from a different country. They're American players. They're not Canadian players, so they can't resonate with them. They have no clue about these athletes when they come up here, obviously. And the second reason, I don't mean to be an asshole, they know, even though they're amazing talent, they're NFL rejects. Obviously, they're not the best talent playing in America. I don't mean to be an asshole. It's just the truth, right? These guys may be stars up here, but they're not like they're NFL cuts, NFL rejects, obviously from the states. Don't hate him, yeah, obviously. That's why they don't really care that much about them that much. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't care that much about them either. Because they're the main reason is because I know they're American. Obviously, like even though they're NFL rejects, they're still a talented, amazing athletes. Obviously, but the main reason why I don't really care that much about them is because I know they're American and from a different country. I can't resonate with them. Obviously, so I'm saying, yeah. Oh, hey, you guys been saying, yeah. All you NFL fans are probably wondering, I do the CFL fans know they're NFL rejects? Of course they do, not stupid. They know all the best players are playing in your NFL. Those American guys come here, they're obviously guys who didn't get their NFL opportunity. Obviously. So they know they're NFL rejects. They're not stupid. Yeah. Obviously. And that's why CFL, I don't mean an asshole, like that's why the NFL players they see your CFL as kind of as a minor league because you have all the star athletes, you know what I'm saying, who are um, they may be talented, but they're all like they're the NFL rejects, obviously playing in your league. So they see your league as it's not a minor league, but they see your league as a minor league, obviously. The NFL players, obviously, right? And the NFL, the American football fans obviously see the CFL as a minor league. And some of the Canadian fans also see the CFL as a minor league because they know, even though these American athletes are amazing players, they really are, man. They're fucking amazing athletes. Amazing fucking athletes. Who didn't get their opportunity. They're not the best players playing in America, right? They're NFL rejects, obviously. Yeah, don't hate him, yeah. 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 Or even their talent, I know. The American players who come here, they're very talented, they're amazing athletes. They put on a show. I know. But even though, I trust me, I watch CFL games. They do. These American guys when they come here, they put on a show, man. Amazing players. Play up here, obviously. I'm not gonna lie, they're amazing athletes, amazing football players, obviously. But even though they're amazing football players, I can't resonate with them because they're American. I don't know anything about them, obviously. Don't hate them, yeah. Yeah. All you ever ask, I that's actually funny. In the preseason games, yeah. In the preseason games, you know what I'm saying, in the CFL, you watch, I watch a preseason game and like you see this like upcoming, like I don't know, this running back, he gets reps, he puts on a show, he scores a touchdown, and the fans are roaring. But like all the Canadians watch on television are clues. Yeah, this guy's amazing. I know his name because they say his name, but like I don't know who the fuck this guy is. I don't even know who this guy even came from. Man. Like you're clueless, right? You don't know anything about that guy, right? So you can't really resonate with that person because they're unknowns from a different country. Like, so it's tough to resonate with these people, CFL. Like, I don't even know who these guys even are, man. They may be talented, but like, I have no idea who these guys even are. I know nothing about them. But the CFL tries their very best to promote them with the promos and they have them speak and everything, and they even do documentaries about them. But the fans don't really resonate with them. They don't really care that much, right? Because they're Americans from a different country. They don't know anything about these guys, man. Yeah. I was an undrafted, unsigned free agent. I didn't get my NFL opportunity, and I got to play pro football here. Yeah, it's a beautiful story. It really is. It's a beautiful story. They didn't get their NFL opportunity. They got to be CFL stars. Amazing story, obviously. But like, I don't really care because they're American. I don't like. I can't resonate with them. Yeah. Yeah. Some center. Don't hate you, son. Yeah. Why do you think the CFL should promote the league with the American talent? Look, if the league can grow, if the CFL can grow to like I don't know, $300 million a year business in maybe 6 years, if it has growth and that's good, obviously. But I mean, and they're putting on everything football, like it's not that big of a deal. But like, I don't resonate with these American guys. CFL, I don't resonate with these American guys. I don't know anything about them. They're American. I care more about the Canadian football players, but all these Canadian athletes in CFL know you're not going to give them opportunity. Oh, we can't, man. They're not as talented, man. That's why you got to get rid of the American guys, CFL. Give the Canadians their time to shine. There we go. We could do that, but I mean, this thing could be huge, but it's risky, man. Like they're not. Yeah, you don't trust the best Canadian players to put on a good enough quality football for the Canadian football fans because you're trying your best to be the NFL, CFL. That's why you bring. Yeah, we're trying to be put on quality football almost as good as the NFL. That's why we got to bring these American guys up here, Ivan. Yeah, but you're never going to be the NFL. Stop trying to be the NFL, CFL. You're never going to be the NFL. Focus on the Canadians and the football fans in Canada. That's what it's about. It's not about trying to be the NFL. It's about trying to be a great Canadian football brand in Canada. Forget about the Americans. They don't care about us. Focus on the Canadians in Canada who love football. It's not about the Americans. The Americans don't care about us. They don't care about the CFL. You want the Canadian football fans to care more about your Canadian Football League, CFL. Promote the homegrown talent and get rid of the American talent. But they're never going to do that, obviously. Not going to happen. Sarah? You can grow your league, CFL, in 10 years to a $450 million a year business, man. Like, you can now pay the star Canadian athletes more money now. Not NFL money, but they can make a lot more money. And you're going to get probably bigger endorsement deals from the star players. And when they speak at places, the fans will actually care a bit more now because they can relate to them and they're Canadian players. They got drafted, they're star players in the CFL. Now, we know it could be bigger. The league could be bigger, but it's risky, man. The quality will dip. Yeah, they don't trust what? You don't trust what? The Canadian athletes to put on as good of a show, obviously, the CFL. Like when I watched the CIS Championship, Laval versus McMaster, I was very entertained. Like that was one of the best games I've ever seen in my life. It wasn't like on the same level as NCAA, but I was entertained. We know like the best Canadian players will put on a show too, but it's not as good as the Americans live. The Americans put on more of a show, I know, but the fans don't resonate with these guys. CFL, they're unknowns. They can't resonate with them. They're American. They may be amazing athletes and they put on a show up here, but like they're unknowns and they're from a different country, guys. That's why I think the fans not resonate with these American guys. Don't hang him, yeah. I'm sorry. Why do NCAA athletes have a dream of playing in the CFL? No, their dreams to play in the Americans don't care about the CFL. Their dreams to play in the NFL, man. Yeah, man, it's not the CFL. The Canadian athletes, their dreams to play in the CFL, but the NFL athletes, their dream is not playing in the CFL. Their dream is playing in the NFL. They only end up in the CFL because they had no choice. They didn't get their NFL opportunities, so they end up here and they get to play pro football up here, and they get to be CFL stars, which is an amazing. It's still an amazing accomplishment. When they do the documentaries of all these players who didn't make the NFL and they get to be CFL stars, it's a beautiful, amazing story. It really is, and they tried to move you with their story. I know it's beautiful. They're CFL stars, amazing story, and they get to be stars. Even though they didn't make the NFL, they get to be CFL stars up here, and the fans love them and everything. But I don't really care because they're Americans, man. Like, I don't know anything about these guys. I can't resonate with them. No, yeah. Well, you're just a part of it, but like, I'm sorry, man. Like, you guys may be amazing athletes who come up here, and you know what I'm saying, the fans love you. You get to be CFL stars, but I can't resonate with you guys because you guys are American. You're from a different country, man. I just can't resonate with you guys. So I'm sorry, I don't hate you. Yeah. Because I really do want the CFL to be a big, more successful, but the league has very, very minimal growth, man. And I believe CFL, if you promote the homegrown Canadian talent, more YouTubers will be talking about your CFL, and you'll have a bit more popularity. Because right now, the popularity for the CFL on YouTube, CFL is a joke. You have very little popularity in your YouTube channels. Obviously, it's not that popular at all. Yeah, you're struggling. Yeah, you're struggling to attract the fans in Canada, obviously, CFL. Obviously, because you're promoting it with the American talent, I think, anyways, right? Why do you care more about the NFL or the CFL? Well, I respect the NFL more because the NFL is a better league, and it's the biggest sport league in America. Obviously, because I'm Canadian, like I don't really care that much about the NFL compared to what I care compared to the CFL because I'm Canadian. Obviously, it's a Canadian bias I have. The NFL is better football, better quality football, and it's more entertaining football. It's a better league, but I care more about the success of the CFL compared to the NFL. The NFL is already successful. Guys from saying because I'm Canadian. It'd be nice for the CFL to be, even though the CFL will never be the NFL. It would be nice for this league to double in revenue, and these athletes can make a little more money. It wouldn't hurt for these guys to make more money, right? Obviously. We can't do that, man. We can't get rid of the American talent. Okay, well, you got to find a way, CFL. You want to promote the Canadian Football League with the American talent, which I think is the wrong way to go. Then you got to find a way, CFL, to grow this league, man. What is your business plan to grow the league, man? With promoting it with the American talent, what's your strategy plan? Because you're seeing very, very minimal growth, right? So obviously something is not working. Obviously, don't hate him. Yeah. I guarantee even a lot of CFL fans agree, yeah, I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of the bias. Yeah, I guarantee a lot of fans are, yeah, they're sick of your bias, CFL. Like I want to see these Canadian guys get to shine up here, but CFL just won't do it because we can't, Ivan. We don't care if the fans want to have all these Canadian athletes play. The quality will dip. Yeah, but CFL, it's common sense. If the Canadian fans in said want to see the Canadian athletes play, doesn't that answer your question that there's a bigger demand for the Canadian brand? There is, Ivan, but like the quality will dip. Obviously, the CFL's not scared. The CFL's not scared of the game attendance. Obviously, yeah, even for the game attendance, we're not worried about that. We'll probably more fans will probably even come and they'll support their homegrown Canadian town. It's the television ratings that we're worried about, Ivan. The people who don't come to the games, we're scared because of the drop in quality. Like less people will watch it. We're gonna have a drop in viewership. They're scared it might drop drastically because the quality's not as good, obviously. That's their fear. Okay, I recommend CFL put the Canadian athletes do better conditioning, better off-season training, better coaching. Have the coach the shadow, the quarterbacks, and the running backs, the linebackers, and you'll get a better training. You'll get a better performance on the field. It will not be as good as the American players, but you're still going to get a great performance on the field. CFL, some Sarah. Yeah. And your league can grow, man. In a good 10 years, your league can be pulling in $450 million a year in revenue. Obviously. It'll never be the NFL, but like, if your league can pull in $450 million a year in revenue in a good, I don't know, 10 years, and you now have substantial growth in your league. Your league is now a big Canadian football league. Not the NFL, but it's now a successful, a more successful league. Sarah? Yeah. We can't do that, man. We can't limit the Americans' opportunity to play pro football. Look, man, the NFL limits us Canadians our opportunity to play pro football up there. Like, why are you giving all these American guys opportunity to play up here? Like, how's that fair? This is our league. The best Canadian players deserve to be the stars in the CFLs, not the American players. They have their NFL, they have the Arena Football League, they have the XFL, they can play there. Like, it's not the CFL, but that's still pretty good, right? If they don't make the NFL, they can play in the Arena Football League. They can play in the XFL. They can play there. There we go. Yeah. Why do Canadian players get Europe opportunities? Yeah, they do. The Canadian players who don't make it in the CFL, some of them have get offers in Europe. My old stepbrother had a Europe pro football offer. He turned it down though. He said no. Yeah. Canadian athletes do get offers from to play pro football in Europe, but they turn it down though. Because Europe football is not the CFL, right? It's not even close to the CFL. CFL's number 2 after the NFL. Number 2. Yeah. I guarantee all you NFL athletes are laughing. All right, that's cold, man. I didn't know it was like that in the CFL. I guarantee you, all you American football fans, you thought the CFL was all these Canadian stars. Nah, man. It's all the American stars up here. It's sad, I know. The American players who the fans in Canada resonate with. We don't really care that much about, right? Very weird. How do you know the fans in Canada don't really care that much about them? Because when I watch the CFL on TSN panel and they talk about this quarterback, this person, and this QB made the Grey Cup, can this QB win this game? Is this QB the best QB in the league? Like, I don't really care that much. And there's also no growth in the league. And that's how you know the fans are not resonating with the American athletes in the CFL. Well, yeah, they're not resonating with these guys, obviously, because they're American, man, from a different country. Yeah, man, like people from a different country, so you can't really resonate with them because you're Canadian. These guys are American players playing in the league, right? That's why no one really cares that much. Whereas the Canadian players, they care a little bit more because they can resonate with them more. Yeah. Almost there, guys. Tired. Yeah. We talked for around 1 hour and 10 minutes. I won't talk too long, guys. I'm tired, man. I don't know. Let me see what it is. I know. Guarantee all you American football fans. I didn't know that, man. I thought all the stars in the CFL were all these Canadian guys. No. All the star players in the CFL are the American guys. That's how it works, right? Yeah. I guarantee you, CFL, some of the Canadian fans in Canada, they can't take your bullshit, man. Yeah, I can't take this bullshit. Like, even though it's entertaining football, man, it'd be nice to see star Canadian quarterbacks and running backs playing as even all these guys, all these American guys. I don't even know. They can't take your bullshit, CFL, man. They can't take your bullshit. A lot of the fans, right? They can't take your bullshit. There they go. You always have that thought in the back of your mind. Yeah, I do. Whenever like you see Milt Stiegel and Matt Dunnigan, they promote like Bo Levi Mitchell and Zach Caleros, who's the best quarterback in the league. Yeah, it's cool and I care a little bit. Yeah, man, like I'm saying, like I don't really care that much. Like, I can't resonate with them. I always have that thought. Yeah, even though these guys are American players, they're amazing players in CFL. It'd be nice for them to promote some star Canadian quarterbacks, man. Some star Canadian running backs, and yet it's all these American guys who I don't resonate with. I don't really care that much. That's how I feel personally. I don't really care that much about these guys because they're American. I can't resonate with them. Yeah, I can't resonate with these guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah. I think all you CFL fans would agree. Yeah, I agree. If they make that change, the league could be this thing could be huge. Oh yeah, I think the league would be huge, man. Canada, man. They made this change. I'll tell the CFL committee if hypothetically speaking, if I were CFL committee, look, guys, you make this change, you promote the heck out of the Canadian talent. This thing could be huge. It will not be the NHL, but your revenue could double in 10 years, guys. And you're gonna get bigger television deals from TSN. You're gonna get bigger Canadian sponsorships, and you're also gonna get better endorsement deals from the companies for your star players. You're never going to be the NFL. You're never going to be able to pay the players the money the NFL players are making, but the players can make more money. If the cap is at $8 million, they can make a lot more money. And this thing could be huge, guys. I even know that, but it's risky. It's high reward, but it's risky, Ivan. We're scared of the we're not scared of the game attendance. More fans will come, more fans will be more invested into the games. Game attendance, but the television viewership ratings, that's what we're worried about, Ivan. We're scared less people will be interested because the quality, it's not as entertaining football. Yeah. Yeah. Not as entertaining football, guys, but it's more valuable football to the Canadian people. So they'll be more invested in watching your games. I believe the CFL television ratings can double in a couple of years to, like, you know what I'm saying, if they make the change, but it can also go downhill if the fans are not as interested in the games because it's not as quality football. So CFL is obviously scared. They have that fear. Ivan, it's too risky. We can't do this. Tell me that if I was CFL commissioner. Okay, if you don't want to do this, man, I don't want to be your CFL commissioner. I can't find a way to grow your league because promoting the American talent, CFL is not working, obviously, right? It's not working. Yeah. Put these athletes through better conditioning, better training, off-season training, on-field training, and better coaching from the CFL coaches, and you'll get a better performance on the field. But you have to put them through better off-season training, CFL, and better conditioning, like Herb Brooks did with the best college players at the time. Team USA do that for the best Canadian athletes who are drafted and were playing in the league. You'll get a better performance on the field. It will not be of the same quality as the American guys CFL, but it'll still be amazing quality, entertaining football. And you have to promote the Canadian brand, the Canadian talent, obviously, on TSN. Do a few nationwide commercials. Have them speak. Put billboards in front of each of your stadiums before each game with, like, this star, so you as quarterback, and people who are interested, I know what I'm doing, but they'll say no, we can't do that. Yeah, obviously. And do red carpet events for the CFL players. It won't be that popular, but I mean that's how you grow it. As the league grows, it will now be over the years. It'll become a little bit more popular, right? It will not be that popular, but that's how you grow the brand CFL. Because you're struggling to attract the Canadian football fans in Canada, the Canadian people in Canada. I'm sorry. Yeah. But I guarantee the CFL, Ivan, you're crazy, man. You want us to get rid of the American talent, man? The quality will dip, man. It will not be as entertaining. You're crazy. I mean, tell me they think I'm crazy. All the GMs and coaches, they think I'm crazy. I know the Canadian athletes, yeah, Ivan, even though it'd be nice for us Canadian athletes to be stars in the league, but that's not going to happen, man. The league doesn't trust us enough to put on as good of a show. I know the league doesn't trust you guys enough to put on as good quality of a show in this in their own fucking Canadian league. It's ridiculous, man. Yeah, man. Why would you be more invested in the league if it was just Canadian athletes? Oh yeah, I'd be a huge CFL fan if it was just Canadian athletes. I'd be watching like all the games, man. I'd be tuning into all the games. I'd be invested. Yeah, I want to see which QB will go to which Canadian CIS franchise QB will take their team to the Grey Cup. I'll be way more invested in the game, man, than I am now. It's less. It's not as entertaining football. Like it even makes a difference. But like the American guys may put on more of a show, CFL, but like I don't really care that much about these guys, man. I don't know anything about them. I can't resonate with them. They're American people, man. American people from a different country. Oh, hey, so yeah, people from a different country. Yeah. Porsche's kind of here. So I the CFO will never make this change. No, never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. They have a bias towards the American players, obviously. It's never gonna. They're blinded by the American talent. They don't think the best Canadian players, obviously. Well, Ivan, that's not true. Well, you guys obviously underestimate the Canadian talent. You don't think the best Canadian players playing the CFL are good enough to entertain the Canadian fans. Obviously, I watched the CIS Vanier Cup, and I was very, very entertained when I watched that game. That was one of the greatest games I've ever seen in my life. Yes, it's not the same quality as like NCAA, you know what I'm saying, but it was still amazing quality football. It was such a good game. They made a documentary about it, man. They called it the best game ever, based off Dwayne Ford's quote. Dwayne Ford was even entertained when he watched the game. He's like, best game ever. It was such an amazing game, man. One of the greatest, the best championship game I've ever seen in my life. That was such an amazing, that was an entertaining football, man. They made it was so good, they made a documentary about it, man, on TSN. Obviously. Yeah. And a lot of fans tune into that game, too, in Canada. With very little marketing, too. As the CIS doesn't have the kind of marketing money that the NCAA has, and I heard quite a lot of fans in Canada tune into that college game with very little marketing, man. Yeah, man, it was one of the greatest college games I've ever seen in my life in Canada, man. It was such a good game. Whereas Dwayne Ford called it the best game ever, man. It was entertaining. That was an entertaining game. Fucking amazing game, honestly. I was entertained when I saw it. I was entertained like crazy when I saw that game, honestly. You know what I'm saying? The CFL's like Ivan, we know, like the quality will still be good, but like it'll dip a little bit, Ivan. It will not be as high quality football. It's not. Yeah, you guys don't think it's good enough to entertain the Canadian fans in Canada, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? The Pro Football League in Europe obviously trusts the best European players to put on a good enough show for the people in Europe. Why can't you trust the best Canadian players equal to put on as good enough of a show for the people of Canada? Like, why are you so scared that the Canadian athletes in the CFL can't put on good enough of a show for the fans? I don't get it, man. When I saw that CI's game, I was entertained by the game, and that those players are not even the best players in the country. It was two teams playing, and some of those players playing were some of the best players, maybe one or two, three players. But like, if you have all the best players in Canada who are drafted and they're playing, you're looking at very high quality football. Not as high quality as the Americans, but you're still looking at very high quality football. So I'm sorry. Oh, hey, I'm saying, yeah. Everything V's live, and that's crazy, man. So your pro league up in Canada, they don't trust. Yeah, they don't trust the Canadian athletes to put on a good enough of a show on television, on TV for the fans. Because the CFL, they downgrade the Canadian talent. It's embarrassing, man. That's why, before I shut camp here, that's why CFL, you're losing a lot of great talent because of your bias towards the American talent, obviously. It's sad, obviously. As I think Anthony Coombs, if he had his time to shine, he would have been an amazing running back. If you got rid of the American talent, Anthony Coombs would have been an Andrew Harris. He would have been an amazing running back. I think Dwayne Ford, yeah, I agree with you, yeah. Anthony Coombs would have been a star running back in the CFL. I believe Stephen Lambala would have been a star running back in the CFL too, if you gave him his time to shine in the CFL. I believe Brad Sinopoli would have been a star quarterback. Brandon Bridge. I'm saying Trey Ford. You have Nathan Rourke. Kyle Quinlan. Like, these guys have been franchise quarterbacks in your league, man. Amazing players. They're not as talented. They're not as talented guys, but you're still getting amazing quality football. It doesn't really make that much of a difference, man. Little dip in quality, but still entertaining football. Guys, some center. Jeremy Dine Roach, I believe, would have been an amazing franchise quarterback in the CFL. He was an amazing quarterback in the CIS, right? Yeah. 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 First was Canberra. I do think all the Canadian players played in the CFL who were drafted, you think they wish, yeah, they obviously had that wish, yeah, it'd be nice for the CFL to get rid of the Americans and let us do our thing up here, but they're biased, yeah. The CFL doesn't believe all you Canadians. Why, you're just a fucking dick, man. Well, it's the truth, man. The CFL doesn't believe you Canadians who are drafted in the CFL, the best players from the CIS who are drafted. They don't believe you guys are good enough to put on a good enough show for the Canadian fans in Canada. That's why they bring all the American guys, because they can put on a better show up here. But I mean, what they don't realize what they're doing. They may put on a show, but the fans not resonating with these American guys because they're unknowns from a different country. So it's very tough to resonate with these guys. Guys from Sarah. Yeah. And that's why I think the CFL for the next maybe for years to come, the CFL might have maybe very little growth. It might grow a little bit. It probably will grow a little bit. It's probably going to have very little growth because I believe the Canadian fans in Canada are not resonating with the American star players. Even though these guys are amazing athletes, CFL to comp here, they're amazing players. And their CFL stars are amazing talent, obviously. The fans don't resonate with them because they're American, obviously. That's what I think, anyways. Or the fans in Canada just don't care about the CFL. They don't care about Canadian football. That's the other reason. Those would be my two answers. Anyways, here's what I hope you guys on the show about CFL. Stay tuned for my video later, or I don't know, maybe tomorrow. So I'm going to sign up. Peace on Hamson. Peace out.